You know I still believe it. You and me. 'Cause every night I go to sleep, I can see.
Welcome to another episode of Around the 412. We are part of the Pod Hub Network. I'm Tyler, and with me as always are Smitty and Herb.
Shout
Hey,
out
how's it going
to Ryan Platt.
for the song?
That was his song choice. We let him pick the song this week.
He uses we. It was him.
Yeah, I mean, I was the only one that knew that he wanted to play that as the song.
I
Well, I
felt like
told
it
him
was
we
gonna
were
be that
thinking
anyway.
about it, and he was like, "Yeah, you definitely have to." So he wasn't too thrilled with the song choice for last week. So
Which was what?
Blue Sky.
we did, yeah. But he said we should have done the new Kobe Bryant song that Lil Wayne put out.
Oh,
So I said, "Well, what do you think we should do for the next episode then?" And he said this. So.
I think it was a little too on the nose there.
But anyway, we are part of the Pod Hub Network. A couple things to mention beforehand. It's too late to register at this point. So now we're
You
just
can still come.
telling you that we hope we see you at the bar crawl this weekend,
Yeah,
the
you-
Building Bridges Bar
You
Crawl.
just won't get the specials.
The Building
the
Bridges Bar
shirt.
Crawl put together by Pittsburgh Clothing Company. They ended up, with like 18 or so sponsors for that? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a ton of sponsors. I'm curious to see how the shirt works out.
Oh, dude, the entire back.
Yeah.
Our logo's gonna be this
They're
big.
gonna be, did you guys do a jogathon whenever you were in elementary school?
I definitely remember something along those lines.
think so.
But I didn't do it because
I
I'm
just
fat.
remember we did like a jogathon in elementary school, and like the back of it just had so many like logos from sponsors.
And there's 170 registered people. So
I count as two, so 171.
171 registered people. So we're excited for that. And then we
I can't wait to see some
finally
of the people, by the way.
we finally got mentioned. We had been putting off talking about it at all, but we talk about it every year when it comes up. The Horse Nickel Foundation Wing Bash, which is going to be, it already slipped by. It's the last Saturday of June. Is that June 27th?
27th or 28th, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's going to be the 27th.
Cool.
So June 27th from 5 to 9 at Whiskey Rhythm in Monaca, PA. You can look up their address. But anyway, anybody that's in the area, or if you want to come to the area just for that, it's a great event. We've been there for every one of them. We started doing the podcast live from there, I think, 3 or 4 Wing Bashes ago. I'm not sure how many
Yeah.
we've done from there now.
Was the first one the time Matt Moore got destroyed by Bud Dupree?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
That was a while
that
ago.
was- so, yeah, the Steelers in the playoffs in 2016, the
Yeah.
16-17 season.
Yes, that was the summer after we started. Or, well, I guess spring after we started the podcast, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty.
Are we really going on 5 years?
No,
No,
no, we're going on
no.
3.
Yeah, we're going on 3.
Okay, knowing you guys has been 5 years. Because 2015 or start of 2016.
20. Yeah, the end of 2015.
Yeah.
Pirates playoffs 2015.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But anyway, yeah. So we're gonna be down there again doing a live show. There's gonna be a ton of prizes. We don't have any word on what those are gonna be yet.
Yeah.
But I am gonna talk to Jeff about potentially getting some of that same type of stuff there. I'm not sure, what to the same extent or whatever, because that was a ton.
Yeah, that was
last year,
That
so-
was above and beyond.
Yeah. But we'll see about that. But anyway, yeah, June 27th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Whiskey Rhythm in Monaca. And then more information will be put out as far as the tournament itself goes. So you can follow their Twitter, Facebook. It's pretty simple to find. Just type in Horse Nickel Softball and you'll find it. So, but anyway, to move on a little bit, I do want to ask real quick. I don't want to talk a whole lot about it. So even though we're not starting, we are starting with football. I'm an idiot. I forgot that we changed that. And I should mention, we are sponsored by Keats Barbershop.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Keats Barbershop is located at 180 Brighton Avenue in Rochester, PA. Tuesday through Friday, open 11 to 7, Saturday 9 to 4, and every Tuesday he does $5 off. Military personnel, first responders, and nurses. Again, Keats Barbershop, 180 Brighton Avenue, Rochester, PA. Anyway, I did switch the order around, as you guys, as the listeners realize, when seasons come and go for sports. I flip-flop the order so we can talk about the most relevant last. So with the NFL coming to a conclusion, we are to talk about the NFL first. But I have a question. Did you guys watch the XFL at all
I
this
watched
past weekend?
a quarter because I was busy.
Okay.
I watched the game. Whoever Seattle played.
Okay.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
only like 8 teams, so
Yeah.
Seattle sucks, by the way.
and 4 teams are gonna make the playoffs, and then it's pretty much it's automatically the semifinals when the playoffs start.
Was it Seattle and DC? I think that was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, and that was the game that I thought had the most intrigue. honestly, with Cardale Jones being DC's quarterback and Eli Rogers for Steeler fans is on that team as well. That was the only game that I was like, intrigued by. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a ton of interest in the league. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It's cool. It definitely looks like a better product from the start than the AAF. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
I think that they've
Well,
done a good job with. I feel like they literally sat there and looked at people's gripes with the NFL and said, these are the things that we're going to do differently. I mean, you looked at the way that the kickoffs are done, the conversions, 1, 2, or 3 points. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of cool things about it. But it's just overall as elite. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the time of the year that is. Like, at this point, I'm just like kind of footballed out.
I was gonna say.
Like, I'm just ready for, the off season, that type of excitement as
Yeah.
far as like the Steelers and the NFL go, and then the season starting back up again as that comes. But yeah, I don't really have interest in the league as a whole.
And maybe it's because you just don't have a team either. Like, you're not invested into a team.
It could be,
So-
but even like with like the Arena League, I never got into like Pittsburgh having an Arena League team. Like, that never interested me.
Yeah, I mean, like I went to games, but I went for free.
Really,
Yeah.
I never even went to a game.
I went to one game and it was with the football team. We went as a team. But yeah, what was I gonna say about the XFL?
I mean, it's
I
definitely.
don't really have
interesting.
a ton of interest, but I just like some of the rules that they have. Like, the overtime is interesting. The kickoff is weird. Like,
Yeah,
they kick off and then, but they're like lined up like way down
Mhm.
the field.
Yeah,
If the bonus go past the 20, it's placed at the other team's 45.
it would be cool if they still did the nicknames and stuff on the jerseys.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
But anyway, yeah, it's definitely.
BYU caught a touchdown.
I think it's in a better situation, like I said.
There it
than
is, the
AAF.
BYU connection.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but like, I just feel like because there was an XFL before,
Yeah.
but essentially, I'm still viewing this as just like a startup league. Like,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Although I saw a tweet saying that in the first day they made more in ticket sales than they did the entire AAF.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I mean. I just feel like to start up
Wow.
there in a way better position than the AAF wasn't. I mean, that right there just shows
Yeah.
how poorly. I mean, I didn't really feel like that on opening night for the AAF or whatever, but it's like as you watch the first couple games and how quickly it folded, it very quickly showed how poor everything was put together.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's not the case with the XFL. So, I mean, as far as like, sustained success, we'll see. But I mean, to have what was it, like 18,000 people at the first game? I mean, that's pretty solid. I mean, with
Yeah.
the new league and opening day and everything like that, like it's gonna be that way. But that's still, like you said, it's way better than the AAF.
Yeah.
So,
It's definitely interesting. Like, I'm kind of like you, where I'm just not really interested right now, mainly because it took me forever to even just get into football. So,
I'm more so interested in players that are playing in it than the actual league or teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically like indie ball.
and what are their
You know.
contracts like?
I have
No idea.
Because it's not like
You mean like how much?
no,
Or
like to my knowledge, it's not like the AAF where they're trying to use it as a platform. I mean, I'm sure a lot of players are trying to use it as a platform to get back to the NFL, but I don't. To my knowledge, it's not like a guy can just like sign off one of those teams. Like, they're under contract on those teams.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know. Is it all like 1-year contracts right now, or
I have no idea.
I got nothing.
I mean, I probably should have looked it up if I'm really that interested in it before bringing it up, but I didn't. So I was just curious if you guys knew. I know, like, when people were talking about, the Steelers, I'll just use that as an example because why not? With Landry Jones, had they wanted to bring him back, they couldn't because he had already committed
Signed, yeah.
to playing for Dallas in the XFL.
Mhm.
So I didn't know if that was just like a 1-year contract because it's the startup of the league, or if like they're different, like actual contracts, like guys are signing 5 years, 4 years, whatever it might be. But I don't know.
Maybe they have to be independent contractors.
Yeah, I gotta do
That's
more
a-
research on this because I really am curious as far as how the contracts work.
Vince McMahon show.
Yeah,
by the
I
way.
know.
Yeah, okay.
Vince McMahon.
Ass of a human, great businessman.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the long-term success of this league is, but
Contracts can be 1 to 3 years.
okay. So they aren't
And
all the same.
You make XFL is using a standard form contract, you're paying $2,725 per week for each player on an active roster.
Oh, wow.
1,040 of which is guaranteed, and you get a 2,222 victory bonus to paid players
Wow.
on each game's winning.
So there's a good bit of incentive there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's their game, like another game check.
Yeah, I guess
Much.
the victory bonuses carry over from the original XFL.
Wow. Okay. Man, I wish I had that amount of money. I'd just be like, yeah, you won here.
All right. Well, anyway, so moving on to talk about some things in the NFL. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. What a game it was, though.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, like up until the last 5 minutes, it looked like it was the 49ers game. But
Nick
it's just
Bosa pissed.
Patrick Mahomes does it again. Like he looked very pedestrian
Mm-hmm.
for most of that game, which is odd for him. You can count on one hand how many times he's looked as bad as he did for most of that game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he turns it on, and it's not just him. It took Kyle Shanahan kind of folding, Jimmy Garoppolo's play being terrible down the stretch,
Yeah.
and the 49ers defense not being able to do anything to stop Mahomes.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, but still, just Mahomes once again pulling something out of a hat.
So was Jimmy G exposed as not a good quarterback?
Well, see, I have never felt like Jimmy
was actually
Garoppolo
good?
was even in not even the top tier,
Yeah.
the tier below. Like I
yeah.
feel like at best he's maybe a little bit above average.
I agree.
I think that there are a lot of quarterbacks in this league that the 49ers have the exact same success that they did this season with, if not better.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree.
I mean, would I have taken Jimmy Garoppolo on the Steelers this year? Sure, because I think he's better than what we had, but I don't think that we had close to average quarterback play. And I think that Jimmy Garoppolo is, like I said, at best a little bit above average. I think he's average.
I would have taken Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Steelers this year.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Honestly, would you take Ryan Fitzpatrick over Jimmy Garoppolo? Not
Yeah.
long term,
Yeah.
for this season, for the
Yeah.
49ers.
I mean, Jimmy G's not much better.
Because I think the only thing that a lot of people would think about because of Ryan Fitzpatrick's age is maybe like the athlete. Ryan Fitzpatrick had like over 500 rushing yards this year
Yeah.
to lead the
absurd.
Dolphins.
I don't get it.
Sure, why not? I mean, I've never been impressed with Garoppolo.
Yeah.
That's and I also I'm just not a huge fan of him in general. But
There's not a better situation, I don't think, for a quarterback than in that 49ers offense. With Kyle Shanahan, his offensive creativity, so much motion pre-snap. I just feel like in the way that they scheme guys to be open for these short throws, I don't think that anybody has an easier job than he did this year at the quarterback
Yeah.
position.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
and you also have the running game to back you up.
Yeah,
you
you
have
have, what,
that, that's
5
strong,
running
too.
backs?
Like, we talk about how this is a passing league, and it absolutely is.
Mm.
But look at 2 of the final 4 teams that were left in the NFL, the Titans and the 49ers.
Mhm.
They threw for a combined, 25 times
Yeah.
each
Yeah, not a
in
ton.
their leading up to when they were eliminated.
Mm.
Like, Jimmy Garoppolo in the NFC Championship was 6 of 8 against the Packers. 6 of 8. They ran for 270 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah, Mostart had 4 touchdowns.
Absurd. Also, one of the most underrated things I've seen that nobody picked up on except for a few people, Sammy Watkins was burning Richard Sherman all day.
Sammy Watkins had a pretty good playoffs in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to say I think a lot less of Richard Sherman as a cornerback now.
No,
But I mean, he was targeted 6 times. He gave up 6 receptions. Had a
Yeah.
perfect quarterback rating against him. And
I just can't believe Sammy Watkins is doing that well. 3 years ago, I thought he wasn't going to be in the league.
yeah, and I think that Tyreek Hill obviously is going to cause problems for him. He's a mismatch against pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, when he's covering Sammy Watkins even making that huge play to set up a touchdown,
Yeah.
burning Richard Sherman. So I don't know. Yeah, those last 5 minutes were just a complete flip flop of what the rest of the game looked like, and it just shows you like how quickly you can lose a game.
Yeah. I also want to acknowledge, Sarge, that comment is forever ingrained on the YouTube
Man.
video.
The first 3 quarters of
What did Sarge say?
I don't know.
You don't want to know.
But the first 3 quarters of the Super Bowl, Mahomes barely had any time to do anything either. But then the last quarter, he actually had time and made them burn.
Yeah.
Because the defensive rush for the 49ers were making him uncomfortable the entire game.
Which was, I mean, I think everybody going into the game, that was one of like the X factors. Because the 49ers have one of the best front sevens in football. But, and the Chiefs' offensive line is okay. But, I mean, we all, as Steeler fans, know how bad James Harrison abused Eric Fisher. and that kind of was the same deal with Nick Bosa early on in that game.
Yeah, it felt like every throw in like the first half, excluding their one touchdown drive, was like either off balanced or he was running while he was throwing it. He was never like set in the pocket and made a throw.
Yeah. And then it was 3rd and 15, and you feel like the 49ers are about to put the game away, and Mahomes throws that deep ball to Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
And at that point, that's when I said the Chiefs are coming back and winning this game.
Yeah.
I mean, the 49ers are literally one play away from making – the Chiefs probably at that point have to go for it on 4th and 15.
Yeah, but still.
But, I mean, yeah, on that, you feel like that was the game right there. Like, if the 49ers get a stop on that play,
Yeah.
they can salt the clock away. Doesn't matter how Jimmy G plays the rest of the game. And it's also, kind of odd to me that they even threw the ball as much as they did, the 49ers, in the position that they were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they're a team that relied on the run their entire playoffs. We're still in a position to be able to run the clock. And just, I don't know. They got away from what they were doing on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
And
It was a great game, though.
great to see
Yeah.
Andy Reid get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is the one good thing. I didn't want Jackson Mahomes to have any TikToks, but oh well.
Dog, he's so cringeworthy.
Pros and cons on both sides, but I feel like there were fewer cons for the Chiefs winning.
Yeah.
I hate Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah, I do too.
Like
And then at the
if
Post
you-
Malone concert,
if you're Patrick Mahomes, like you have to know your brother sucks, right? Like you have to know that your brother is terrible.
I mean,
on
I'm
the
sure he
internet.
sees it all the time.
I'm
Well,
sure he's a
yeah.
good kid, but god damn, dude, stop.
Well, it's like if I'm his brother, especially, I'm roasting the hell out of him for his TikToks. Like
Yeah.
they are so cringeworthy. I hate him. I hate that dude. I can't stand him.
But yeah, Patrick was just living the life for I don't know.
He was.
He
lit
might
at the
still
Post Malone-
still just be in this binge right now, but
comatose, no sleep for a week.
Dude, the way the Post Malone concert like exploded whenever he walked in,
yeah.
like
But
you're the
there's like a
man.
build up to it, though,
Yeah.
because obviously like not everybody's eyes are focused in where he walked in at
Yeah.
one time. So it's like, the people that first see him start going nuts, and then everybody starts noticing where he's going.
Yeah.
He's on like this little VIP type stage,
Platform,
yeah,
yeah.
platform type thing. Yeah, it was cool to see. And it's like Travis Kelce's there too, and he's like a superstar himself. But it's
Yeah.
like
Who
he's kind of
cares?
in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but were you Super Bowl MVP?
And then of course we were just talking about Jackson Mahomes. He was there as well.
Does
And
anybody
it was
like
funny
him?
that he was actually the original video that I saw it tagged Patrick, his girlfriend, and Jackson. I was like, that's like Travis Kelce's right there too. What'd you say?
Does anybody actually like that kid? Like, I'm sure he's a good kid, but goddamn, like, stop.
What a waste of height.
I mean, the thing is,
I'm surprised I have not heard that in my life. Jesus.
if he's not Patrick Mahomes' brother, he's not famous on TikTok, which is his only claim to fame.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't even call him
Um,
famous on TikTok. He's more like famous
he's-
for making fun of him
yeah, he's a verified account on TikTok that people like to make
because
fun
of his last name.
Yeah. Anyway, a couple other things to cover in football. Eric Weddle retired.
Yes, he did.
He not due to ability, according to him. He feels like he could still play a couple more years, but he doesn't have the same passion for football. He said.
Mormon.
I mean, he did get absolutely
Utah.
destroyed by
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
Who
I-
didn't?
I'm not,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no. He, like, bleeding from his head,
Yeah.
destroyed.
That was bad.
Yeah.
I remember I was at a Steeler game when that happened. They actually showed it on the board.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like,
what happened?
Bleeding from his head. Like what? Did he get
I don't
hit
know
in
if
his
he...
helmet? Or
Yeah, like, I don't know if... I can't remember if it was a knee or he kicked him in the side of the head, but whatever on his helmet just, like, sliced his head open.
Fun fact: when when we were playing a game in high school, someone on my team kicked someone in the head on purpose. He like turned around and kicked him in the head when he was on the ground.
Was it Ndamukong Suh?
Basically, it was a Ndamukong Suh of our team. He did a few things like that.
not retiring, but Greg Olson and the Panthers have agreed to part ways. He still plans to play football. He has had offers to go into the booth.
Hey,
Yeah.
Steeler fans, stop.
Yeah,
Please.
I don't.
You're okay. Vance gets hurt enough. Why would you want Greg Olson?
He's older. He's an older version of Vance McDonald.
Like
He's hurt more often.
He's productive. Yeah, he's productive when he plays, but it's not that often.
He broke the same foot twice in one season.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I had him on fantasy.
Ooh.
He broke the foot in like week 1 or 2,
Ooh.
and then came back like a week or 2 before fantasy playoffs and broke it again.
That was probably my fault.
Probably. You said something on the show, probably.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Greg Olson. He's had a very productive career, but
Yeah.
at this point, it's not worth
No.
taking that flyer. The Steelers need to go a different direction with tight end,
Thaddeus Moss.
which actually is a point that I want to bring up here in a second. But Greg Olson is favorited to land with the Redskins. Ex-head coach Ron Rivera is there. And speaking of the Redskins, they have hired the first black female full-time assistant.
Yep.
Jennifer King. And, I mean, you know, it's you look at her resume. She was actually part of the AAF, which I already brought up,
Yeah.
but also was an intern under Ron Rivera with the Panthers back in 2017.
Yeah.
So they know each other very well. This is, you know, and she's not she is the first black female assistant, but like Katie Stowers of the 49ers who just played in the Super Bowl. And then there's another one with the Buccaneers, another female. I mean, it's happening.
Yeah.
And these women are way more qualified to talk about football than the three of us in this room.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's cool to see. Obviously, you know, people are going to have their opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they never
For the wrong
play-
reasons,
They never
but-
played in the NFL. She did play football.
Yeah, well,
She played,
neither did Bill Belichick.
She never, or not she never. She played 3 different positions on the same team. Like, she was playing quarterback, safety, and something else at the exact same time for her
Jesus.
team.
Wow. Also, my favorite argument for the they don't play is you didn't either.
Yeah.
You didn't play in the NFL either. Stop it.
Yeah. If not playing in the NFL or college football makes you not being able to coach, then Nick Saban and Bill Belichick shouldn't coach because neither of them did.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Well, Nick Saban probably shouldn't coach in the NFL.
Wow.
College football, sure.
Yeah.
But,
That's another story.
and then a couple things on the Steelers. One is kind of going to be an opinion. We'll see where we can go with it.
Oh.
But Kevin Colbert is back for another year, which is good news. We were kind of waiting to see his contract was set to expire after
the
this draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so excuse me, would have been interesting to see had he not re-up for the year. What, just going to do the draft and then another GM's going to take over? But
Well, that's
yeah,
what's going to happen next year, apparently.
at this, potentially, yeah. I mean, at this point, it's been like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
something like that. That it's just 1-year contracts. As he gets up there in age, close to where he wants to retire, he's not willing to commit to anything more than 1 year.
Yeah.
And obviously, with his body of work and the way the Steelers operate, they're fine with that.
He's probably just going to hang around until Ben's gone, right?
Maybe
what if everybody just left when Ben retired?
it's
Oh
gonna be
my
all at
God.
one. Well, that
I
somebody
mean,
brought up.
Pouncey's going to retire whenever Ben's gone.
Somebody brought up all at one time. It's going to be, Ben, like set to expire at one time. It's going to
Yeah.
be Ben, potentially Colbert if he doesn't before,
Mm.
Pouncey, Tomlin's contract I think is that same season.
Yeah. There's definitely a couple others.
So what is that? 2 seasons from now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What if they win the Super Bowl that season and then they all just say peace? Like, we're out.
I mean it'd be hard to. I mean I wouldn't be upset about it.
No.
Like,
Oh,
it-
for sure.
yeah,
just
it
have
would
to-
just be. But it's gonna be hard for a lot of people to stomach that.
That'd be a
like,
lot
there's
of
gonna be
turnover.
turnaround. Yeah.
Just embrace the suck for like 3 years.
But yeah, I mean, oh man, now you got me thinking about seeing another Super Bowl.
Oh God. It's too soon. It's right after the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Apparently the Steelers are like 6th or 7th when it comes to odds already.
Yeah, they have
Way
the.
too early odds.
I think them and the Cowboys were the only two that were in the top 10 that didn't make the playoffs this year.
Wow.
And Big Ben's one of the favorites to win comeback player of the year.
Well, no
I mean,
shit.
like honestly, I was sitting there thinking
There it
about
is.
it. I was sitting there thinking about it, like potentially who could win that, and it's like, I mean, Ben, Matthew Stafford because he got hurt like week 3,
Oh, that's right. Oh,
something
God,
like that. And then like I was kind of like drawing blanks on who else it could be.
I mean, I don't want to say like, if I say this person, it's because of a quarterback. But Juju, I mean, if he had a big season, but it'd be probably. But Ben would
What's
probably
funny
be-
is like in the car ride, I started to think about do the Steelers have more than one candidate? Because yeah, like Juju with all the injuries and lack of production. Also, I mean, for that same reason, I don't think it would happen. But say James Conner has like a 2018 type season.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that the opportunity is even going to be there because I think that the Steelers obviously see now that he can't handle full workload. Like even if they don't draft another running back, he's still not going to see
You imagine
the
Benny's
2018 workload.
Yeah, you imagine Benny's going to at least cut into that.
I want to talk about because I've been putting like these polls up just to see what people
yeah,
think,
Yeah.
and
Oh, trust me,
really
we've
I
seen
put them out there, and I keep forgetting to talk about them on here. So I put the poll out like, which second year Steeler are you the most excited to see?
Mhm.
And obviously, like it's Devin Bush, Deontay Johnson, Benny Snell could potentially be one of them too. So I said those three, and then respond if other would be like, I don't know, Justin Lane. Like, do you think his role expands? Ulysses Gilbert, who pretty much wasn't able to have a huge impact on the season due to injury,
yeah.
but he was very good on special teams right before he got hurt.
Yeah, that was scary.
But to me, I'm most intrigued by Deontay Johnson because of Ben coming back, and he plays a position where his production is solely directed to a different position, which obviously the running back needs the line and everything like that.
Yeah.
But in Devin Bush's case, it's not that way. Like his individual production, he can kind of determine
Influence,
that.
Yeah.
Whereas Deontay Johnson, it's kind of about a different position, which isn't always the case.
Like, yeah, you have to get yourself open, but that quarterback has to be able to get you the ball.
Yeah. So for me, I'm most intrigued for what Deontay Johnson does in year 2. Even if Ben's average, I think that's a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
But I'm also intrigued by Benny Snell, mainly because I'm curious to see what he does before the season starts. We know that the Steelers have a way of, they draft these guys that are bigger, and then they expect them to lose 10 to 15 pounds in the offseason,
Yeah.
come in lighter, more agile. So, what is Benny Snell going to look like in year 2? Not even talking about before he takes a snap. I just want to see what his body looks like going into year 2.
Pause.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I want to see his body.
I do agree, though. I do completely agree. I imagine Connor's last year next year? Last season?
Yeah. They're not going to
No.
re-up him.
I doubt it. I really doubt
It's
it.
not worth it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. As much as we talked about teams like not paying running backs, at the end of the day, somebody always does.
Yeah. But
Not what they want, maybe, but like we can use Derrick Henry as a good example right now because he's looking for at the floor. He said Zeke Elliott's contract, which was 6 years, $90 million.
Well,
Coming off the playoffs that he did, and the way that the Titans operate offensively, I don't think that the Titans have a choice but to give that to him.
yeah. Yeah.
And then they're going to regret that. But the next team that needs to pay a running back, it's still going to happen. Look at the running backs that we're talking about right now that we considered all at the top that have gotten their money just within the last 3 years. Todd Gurley, who's going to be on the trade market this offseason.
Oh.
Le'Veon Bell, who's on the trade market, was on the trade market in year 1.
Yeah.
David Johnson probably going to get cut by the Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, but that, yeah.
If not cut, going to be traded probably.
Yeah.
Who else is at the Zeke Elliott averaged less than 4 yards per carry.
Which is insane.
Who else is at Jerick McKinnon was paid by the 49ers for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Did he even play in the playoffs?
No, wasn't he hurt?
Yeah, I believe he got hurt again. Yeah. I was looking at like the top 10, and it's like most of these guys did not even have an impact on their team.
Yeah.
And in the Rams situation, I'm hearing that they could be looking to shop Cooper Kupp because they can't pay him because they paid Todd Gurley that money,
and
which
Goff all that money.
Yeah, Jared Goff's contract is terrible too.
Yeah.
But he plays quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't. It would be hard for me as a Rams fan to stomach $150 million, whatever it might be that they gave Goff. I think it was like 134, but at the same time, I can stomach that more than giving $60 million plus to a running back because Jared Goff at least plays the most important position on the field, and if he's average, then you can build the pieces around that team to make. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it.
Yeah, no.
He got them to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't there because of Todd Gurley.
No.
And now they're going to lose Cooper Kupp and who knows who else in the coming years.
Yeah.
Because of this money that they gave Todd Gurley.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just getting back to the point. Running backs are continue to make some money, even though I understand. The running back position to me is important. Look at what Christian McCaffrey does for the Panthers. He's that entire team.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what he gets when he's a free agent.
Oh God, that's gonna be a.
I think that the running back position. I won't say it's not important. I think that it is a very important piece of the team. I just think that there's too many guys capable of giving you production from that position to ever pay one of them a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
I would get my years out of them, draft another one.
And the lifespan of those careers is just too short. Like it's the first it's a rookie contract and then maybe 3 years.
I'm not even against I would even be fine taking one in the first round if I felt like for the Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
if they're not gonna. I don't know what Damian Williams' situation is, but I keep seeing them linked to a running back in the first round, like DeAndre Swift. That would be an unbelievable fit. I'm fine with taking him in the first round. Get the 5 years out of him. You feel like he's a missing piece.
Mm-hmm.
See how many Super Bowls you can win in those 5 years.
Do it
Move
again.
on.
Yep.
I mean,
Do it again.
I'm never paying a running back a significant amount of money.
Nah.
Get the years out of him.
If there's one
That's
running
it.
back you have to pay, it's Christian McCaffrey, because that man's just a freak.
Yeah, and I think that the difference with him, though, too, is as much as people devalue the running back position, he also is a receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of running backs that catch passes out of the backfield, but not double digits. I mean, you talked about him having 11 receptions a game.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, he's worth paying just because, and he's been durable as well. So,
Yeah.
I think that he is, kind of the exception to the rule. There's always going to be exceptions. And I think that right now in the league, he is the one. I would not have paid Ezekiel Elliott $90 million.
Yeah.
I think that he's very good.
Mm-hmm.
He's not
That
not
good.
what Christian McCaffrey is to the Panthers.
No.
Hold on, I want to look something up.
In Derrick Henry's case, he doesn't really catch the ball out of the backfield. I
No.
mean, he's a dominant runner.
Yeah.
But you're paying $90 million for that. I mean,
Remember whenever Le'Veon Bell said he was a receiver too, because I think he had the 10th most receptions in the league, and it was low 90s. It was like 90 something. I'm curious how many receptions.
But that was that Todd
McCaffrey
Todd
had.
Haley.
McCaffrey had over 100.
Yeah.
What?
I thought. Or did he just have
116.
1,000? Yeah, okay.
Jesus.
116, 1,005 receiving yards.
I knew he had over 1,000 yards. I started to think maybe he didn't have 100 receptions because I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe I saw the 1,000
The year
yards
before
thing.
that, he had 107 receptions.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, he's also running. The past 2 seasons, he ran for over 1,000. This year, he ran 1,387 yards, 287 rushes, 116 receptions, 1,005 yards.
But I think so much about Christian McCaffrey being the exception to the rule that I would go as far as if the Panthers would have somehow made the playoffs this year, I think he's the MVP over Lamar Jackson. What?
Is that Bob Ross?
There is is it an emote?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Who put that?
I mean,
Ryan.
if
Oh.
they made the playoffs, I
Alexander.
could see that happening. He's just too dominant.
Okay.
He-
Anyway, as far as an opinion goes, I'm curious on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've brought it up before, but we know exactly where they pick. So, what direction should the Steelers go with pick 49? It's their only pick in the top 100.
It's hard to say without knowing what's on the board,
But direction.
which I know is a cop-out answer. But
yeah, that's
but
So, I mean,
Like-
I could even I've said in my head it's kind of hard to say because you're waiting for at least one domino to fall. What's going to happen with Bud? What's going to happen with Vance McDonald? If one of those two things, if we knew the answer to one of the, if I knew for sure Vance McDonald was not going to be back, I would say tight end. If I knew for sure that Bud wasn't coming back, it would have to be edge because who the hell else is playing it? I don't think that there's anybody
What's his
behind
name? What's the dude's name?
Tuzar Skipper,
Yeah.
Ola, yeah.
It's
What's
Tuzar
the
Skipper's
dude's
the one
name?
that everybody was like,
Yeah, up in arms about losing.
Yeah.
I would argue O-line because I don't think Al is going to get anywhere near good again.
I would look at replacing Ramon Foster before Al.
That too.
I think that it would make sense to take a tackle that could play guard as well, or you could look at moving Filer inside to Ramon Foster's position and drafting a tackle. to the
Filer
right
wasn't
side.
that bad.
It's hard to draft somebody, especially you're talking about a second round pick.
Yeah.
There aren't going to be many guys, if any, and I don't think that there's going to be anybody available that's going to immediately step in and play left tackle, because that's
This isn't a deep lineman draft.
that
yeah.
and it just I mean that transition is so hard to make. Immediately putting them at left tackle to face guys like Myles Garrett in the division.
Yeah.
I mean it's a
If he
hard
plays.
ask. Yeah, true.
Not back in the league yet, to be honest.
Okay, I'm going to bring it up, and I have a feeling Smitty's going to have a very strong opinion about this. Ryan Alexander said wide receiver or tight end.
Wide receiver. I mean, I think you can make a case for that too,
Really?
Depends on which
I don't
wide
think.
receiver's there.
because
Well,
This is the deepest
yeah.
wide receiver draft in years.
That is fair.
so the only thing that I will say about that though is with it being the deepest wide receiver class, I think there's guys that you could get in any round
Later, yeah.
that could be a contributor. My I mean, the biggest thing obviously is going to be fit. And you look at the Steelers receivers out on the roster, and it's like, the Juju kind of all around physical contested catch type guy. James Washington's kind of the same thing, although he averaged 16 yards per reception. So you could argue he's more like the deep threat guy. Deontay's the crisp route runner that's open 24/7.
I was gonna say.
So
yeah.
what are they missing? And you think about, they're probably missing, a speed guy, a straight line speed guy, or a big red zone target. So I think you're talking about wanting to go one of those two directions. Is it going to be the straight line speed? Say a guy like KJ Hamler's there, who stands only 5'8". You worry about getting physically abused when putting the slot line up against guys.
I would imagine you could probably get him a little later though. I haven't seen him going high.
Fair enough.
So-
Yeah, I mean, the two receivers that I've really seen mocked to the Steelers are Justin Jefferson from LSU, and then, if they waited till their next pick, Denzel Mims, who I'm a huge fan of, was the best receiver at the Senior Bowl. He's from Baylor. But he kind of went into that as like a, wide receiver 12, 15 from this class. Most people have him as like wide receiver 7 now.
I hope Sarge is trolling.
Also, if you're picking a big guy, Michael Pittman Jr. is also a great choice.
yeah.
And you did that, he's kind of scheme specific from what, I mean, obviously, this is going based off what his scouting report is, but he's not the best route runner, doesn't have great speed. I mean, it's all proficient, but really his thing is the contested catch, the 50-50
I mean,
balls.
he's 6'4", he can jump.
Yeah.
He's got good size.
50-50 balls are like 75-25 for him. So,
6'4" and can jump. Can't relate.
yeah.
Anyway, Sarge said cornerback. I don't trust Hayden or Nelson.
Tuh. Is that like the
That better be a
Is that
joke.
sarcasm?
the Bleacher Report article?
That better be a joke. Because I have no idea what.
I
it's
think
referencing.
I think Sarge might be writing for Bleacher Report now.
I mean, if Neville Gallimore's there, take him.
Yeah, I
He's-
don't.
he's-
I think that he played himself into the
He's a
top.
defensive tackle, but
I think he played himself into like the top 40. And I would say the same thing with Ross Blaylock from TCU. Like, he's the same position, defensive tackle. But I think that those guys are both going to be off the board. I think realistically they're looking at, if they go tight end, Bryson Hopkins is going to be there at 49, I think.
he plays Apex Legends.
I think, honestly,
talked to him.
Oh yeah.
I have not
talked to him.
seen, I haven't seen Thaddeus Moss mocked in the top 3 rounds.
Really?
And he got a draft grade of go back to school,
Oh wow.
essentially, which means you're not going to the top 3 rounds, so it doesn't make sense to come out.
I like
It's an odd situation with him.
what's the dude from Dayton?
Adam Troutman.
Trotman.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that he's the tight end 1 on a lot of people's boards now. So I think that there's going to be a tight end needy team that picked before the Steelers, and that could potentially be where he goes. It just depends, Does that team like Troutman more than Hopkins, or how's it going to play out? Cole Kmet from Notre Dame's another guy. He's the only tight end I think that's mocked to go in round 1. But yeah, as far as Thaddeus Moss goes too, it's a weird situation because, the only there's been a ton of guys, but like the first situation for some reason that always comes to mind with guys coming out early is Dante Moncrief, and I remember like very specifically the reason was because he needed the money. Like, and that wouldn't be the case with Thaddeus Moss.
No,
You know,
yeah.
his dad's Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Like, he's solid. He's okay. He can play another year at LSU.
Yeah.
You just wonder, is he coming out now because, Joe Burrow's coming out, Justin Jefferson's coming out?
Yeah.
Like, does he feel like his production's not going to stay up to even go where he's going to go? But,
Yeah.
like, I don't see how he doesn't get drafted in the first 3 rounds again next year. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
that his stock would fall off far enough to warrant not going back to school.
You can argue he has straight up the raw talent. It's just a matter of getting it out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I see the same things. I'm just wondering how, in a tight end class that really isn't like that great. I think that it's relatively deep, but it's not star studded.
Yeah.
I think that he would be better suited to come out again next year. But I mean, it's his decision. More power to him. I just think that at best he's like tight end 5 or 6.
I mean, that's fair.
And
you
I
guys know
think
more
that,
than I do because I was not at the Senior Bowl. So,
well, neither was Thaddeus Moss, but
well, yeah.
like he mentioned Adam Troutman, I think that he showed enough to be tight end 1 or 2.
Harrison Bryant looked good. He's from FAU.
The question with him was his blocking. Troutman's a converted quarterback, and people wondered about his blocking ability. But, I mean, he was putting on a show blocking-wise as well. So, I don't know. Going to be interesting. For me, looking at it right now, I'm going to say tight end. But once again, that's under the assumption that Bud Dupree's back, at least on the franchise tag. If he's not back in any capacity, it's got to be edge for me because there's nothing behind Bud.
And if I have to bring him up every show. So if they don't take a tight end this year, take Matt Bushman from BYU next year. I mean, he's already on rankings. He's already in the top 5 tight ends for next year's draft.
Oh,
But
there you go.
I don't see how they survive this year without taking a tight end.
Well, we're not the Steelers.
I
I mean,
know.
I like Fournette, but
Once again, he's a free agent too. So
yeah.
assuming he's back for minimal, he's still just a complimentary piece. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a good tight end too. I mean, because he does what you want from your tight end too. Primarily a blocker. Not going to catch more than like 15 balls in a season.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at maybe one. Like if he catches 2 balls in a game, that's like wow. So. Like against the Monday Night Football game against the Bengals, his first game here was his most productive game.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Okay, moving on to baseball. Obviously, a blockbuster was finally
Yeah.
completed.
With 2 teams, not 3.
Well,
So is Mookie still going?
my headset just went crazy.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
So
I just didn't know.
Mookie, David Price,
You know, I'm suspended on Twitter, so
like
I can't see
the
stuff.
entirety of what's going on with the 3 teams involved. And I'll say 3 teams because the deal with the Dodgers and Angels is not
Next.
happening.
Yeah.
So Jock Peterson's going to still be finding a new home, it sounds like, just not there, as well as Ross Stripling. It's an interesting dynamic, though, with how close it is to spring training, because those guys could still potentially have to report to the Dodgers, knowing that they were
Stripling
just
does.
traded. Yeah, pitchers and catch report today.
Yeah.
So, Mookie, David Price, Brewstar, is that how it's pronounced from the Twins?
I
Let's
can't
do it.
remember.
Brewstar, Gatterall, half of Price's money, the 67th pick, and a minor leaguer all end up going to the Dodgers.
That 67th pick is a compensatory pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenta Maeda,
It would have to be what I asked.
a minor leaguer, and $10 million go to Minnesota. And then Verdugo, Jeter Downs, Wong, who's a catcher, to Boston. And like I said, the Jock deal fell through. So,
I just want to take a minute and acknowledge the irony that the Red Sox now have a guy named Jeter.
yeah, did you see Evan Neal's tweet?
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, Fired Neal's tweet
Yeah.
about Jeter? Finally, there will be a good Jeter in
Yeah.
the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry.
Sarge is triggered.
Very.
Uh,
Very.
But so I mean, anytime you get like a top 5 player in baseball, it's hard to say that like
You
anybody
lost.
else won the trade.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Dodgers are kind of loading up. Obviously, it's pretty well documented their postseason failures.
You still don't have pitching.
They gotta win a World Series now.
Yeah.
Like it's literally it has to happen. You traded for Mookie Betts. You gave up Verdugo, who has more years of control and was a pretty solid baseball player. So I mean, if you're upgrading there
Not
for
just more years of control. Mookie Betts wants to be a free agent.
yeah, I mean you're doing this for 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that they can't pay Mookie when he hits free agency, but Mookie's going to look around.
Yeah.
And you're taking on David Price's contract, who he is not pitching up to.
Who?
So
Woof.
they are really this is for this year. I mean, the Dodgers have to win the World Series this year.
Go
I mean,
get bullpen
everybody's
help.
going to be penciling in Dodgers-Yankees.
Go get bullpen help. Or else I guarantee you a team from the East is going to whip your ass.
Might interest you in one Keone Kela?
Yes. I wonder what they would give up for him.
I mean, it
The,
depends.
the Dodgers have been very stingy with their minor leaguers.
Well,
for no reason.
For he who must not be named, they wouldn't give up Lux. So
Yeah.
I did not expect you to say that, which is the only reason why I'm chuckling.
yeah.
They wouldn't give up Lux for Lindor, apparently.
They won't give up Dustin May for Betts.
I mean, and they got Betts. So they're doing tough business, but
Why
this
are
point, it's
people
working
helping
out.
the Dodgers? Why are people helping the Dodgers? It's like the goddamn Blackhawks. Stop it.
I saw Pete Blackburn.
Hey.
He
He doesn't like me.
why?
I made a remark about the Boston Gullies at one point in time.
Oh. Well, I saw him tweet. I was like, the Red Sox are the most valuable team in Boston. They won a championship a year ago, and now they're the worst team in the city.
Hold off on that. Let's wait and see if Tom Brady comes back.
oh my God.
Well,
Could
at
you
least
imagine?
at least the Patriots made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Sox didn't.
I know, but could you imagine if the Patriots all of a sudden being the worst team in the New England area?
Flip of a switch. Everybody hates their lives.
Because the
Well,
Celtics
everybody
the Celtics are pretty good. They're gonna
Everybody
be
in
a top.
Boston already hates their lives, so it's whatever.
They're gonna be a top 4 seed in the East.
That joke flopped.
Boston is
The Bruins are good.
Bruins. I shouldn't say Boston. That could be any team. Bruins are
The Bruins are one of
top-
the favorites to win the East.
Bruins are one of the top 3 teams in the NHL.
And
so.
they lost to the Red Wings for the second time this
Yeah.
season. They're bad. I mean, the Red Wings are bad.
I think that they're. I mean, we're going to talk about hockey soon, so I won't even say because I want to bring that up anyway. But anyway, yeah. All of a sudden, if the Patriots are the worst team in Boston, that's going to be
That'll
great.
be so nice.
I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime.
That's a little bit of a stretch.
Okay, it's not though because my entire football watching life, the Patriots have always been good.
No, yeah.
And I just figured
But Tom Brady's not going to be his excellence until you're 60.
no, but I figured I didn't know things would go the way that they. Imagine things didn't go the way they did with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And I mean, we already touched on the fact that I think he's very average.
Yeah.
But I still with Belichick in that system, and not
Yeah.
that Belichick should be around forever.
Yeah.
I don't think. But
Never know. He could be a vampire.
He's immortal.
but
He is Emperor Palpatine.
still, that dynasty looked like
Unlimited
it was just
power.
going to be able to continue. It's
Yeah.
really not until this last
Past
year and a
2.5
half
years, yeah.
that it's looked like things are going to fall off.
Yeah, and, they might.
I hope. I honestly, what I hope happens, I don't know if Sarge is still in here, is the Cowboys don't pay Dak and they bring in Tom Brady.
That's what I said last, however long ago that was. I want that to happen so bad.
The only way it's only funny because of the dynamic thinking about Jerry Jones and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're bringing up which was the worst team in Boston, whenever the Pirates were good in 13 through 15, who's the worst team in Pittsburgh? Would it be the Steelers?
Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder how many people.
one
would
of
ever
those
think
years
that.
they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah. 13 they didn't.
What was-
because
They were 8-8,
that was the year that Antonio Brown stepped out of bounds on
Yeah.
that kick.
What
for
was
the
the Gimli
Dolphins.
year?
13.
Arguably that year may have been the Penguins just because they were the biggest letdown.
I mean, they made the
Yeah,
Eastern
but
Conference
they-
final though.
Yeah,
they were
but
the biggest letdown.
that
but-
team should have been so much better than they were.
Yeah, but they.
But the Steelers still had the
Steelers
killer
made-
bees that year.
They missed the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
It was the city of disappointment at that time. I
I
got
mean,
sad. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I mean, the Pirates, based off that, if you're looking at expectation too,
They won a
We're the
wild
best
card.
team.
They were.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think through 13 through 15, the Pirates were the best team.
If it wasn't for Michael Walker, they were in the championship.
Because I
series.
mean, the Penguins. I mean, you had the Eastern Conference final where you got
then two
swept,
first round.
but then you got
yeah.
2 first rounds exit. Or no, one was the second round. 14 was the second round. 15
Yeah,
was
they
the
beat
first round.
Columbus. Yeah, in the first round.
Yeah. But still, you lost to the Rangers twice. Steelers, they couldn't figure anything out. They had the killer bees, but they had a crap defense.
God, that was that.
That was the
Franken
era of
defense.
Steelers football where the defense was just switch cheese, and you had to outscore everybody.
Well, wait, 2015 is when the Steelers made the second round, and they only lost on the Toussaint fumble against the Broncos, who eventually won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that was without Antonio Brown.
Oh, that was Peyton, huh?
And Bell or D'Angelo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. He was, oh, my God.
His arm was held together with glue and compressed air.
That
He
was-
literally
that
just
was
got
the
to
year
be
they
on
won
a
the
Super Bowl.
right?
Yeah, he literally just got to be on a team that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That defense was ridiculous. Oh, wait, we're talking about baseball.
Yeah, I was just I just wanted to bring up which one was the worst.
No, but okay, so the Padres. I mean, it was just on the last show we were talking about how the Pirates tried to get Manuel Margot, and he goes to the Rays for Emilio Pagan.
They now have the 6th, 14th, and 19th best defensive outfielders,
Yeah, and then you have
And then you have Austin Meadows.
Yeah,
who are I will still continue to this day fight the fact that he is not that incredible, but
it's just an interesting dynamic for both teams because who's playing center field for the Padres?
who cares?
Pham,
Who cares?
and who's not playing in the outfield for the Rays?
Austin Meadows will be DHing.
But so Jose Martinez is actually going to play first base, play in the field.
Who else is going to play first base?
I don't know, somebody that can actually field.
Brendan McKay.
Somebody that can field. I don't know. I don't want Jose Martinez near any defensive position, personally.
I don't know.
I mean, okay, so let's take a look at the Rays roster.
I'll
really
pull up
quick.
the Padres.
So in the outfield,
What a joke.
Kiermaier, Margot, Meadows, Hunter Renfroe.
Renfro's probably going to be the DH. Speaking of also former Padre.
What about Renfroe playing first base and having Martinez DH?
Oh, I can see that. But then Austin Meadows isn't playing. Oh, wait.
No,
yeah,
I'm saying Meadows in the outfield. Yeah. As far as first base goes, yeah, you have Jose Martinez, Nate Lowe, G-Man Choi, and that's it.
Man, I wish I still had it sorted.
But look, they have 3 second basemen that I feel like, like Joey Wendell, Daniel Robertson, and then Brandon Lowe, who was one of the better rookies last year. I mean, I feel like they have so many. They have a logjam at all these different positions.
Franchi Cordero's going to play center field. He's labeled as center fielder, even though he mostly played in right field. They'll probably bring Will Myers and keep him around in the outfield, even though that
They should have
contract's
traded
just
Will Myers.
dead at that point. They should have.
They should trade Will Myers to the Pirates, along with a prospect.
Hey, they're the ones who signed fucking Eric Hosmer.
Yeah.
144 million.
I want to take on Will Myers' contract to get a prospect back in it.
Imagine saying you would take on Will Myers' contract, because Will Myers is not that bad.
I know, but I just know they're
Yeah.
trying to move that contract
Yeah.
out. So
So are we rebuilding or no?
What is there to destroy?
that's essentially what Charrington
Charrington
said is
said.
they're building, not rebuilding.
Yeah.
But
How can
it's
you
kind
rebuild
of-
if you don't have assets?
But it's kind of contradictory to
saying,
his
like-
statement about
Like,
saying
are we going to trade Bell? Are we going to trade Kella? Are we going to trade
Archer,
I don't know, anyone with value?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's kind of rebuilding.
We wait and see come July.
he said that he feels like there's players on the roster that are going to be on the next winning team. So, I mean, that in a way is saying that you feel like you have a building block, I think.
You could argue
His
Josh
name
Bell
is Brian Reynolds.
Well, yeah, duh. But you could argue Josh Bell is our Jose Abreu. Like Platt said.
I mean, if they're going to keep around
What,
Josh Bell,
overrated?
if they're going to, I mean, a little bit.
Well, yeah.
Everyone. So it was funny when we were down at the Senior Bowl. Everyone was bringing up the good year that Bell had.
Uh-huh.
To
We were
like
like,
us because we're
well.
Pirate fans, and I was like, well, you probably didn't watch the second half, huh?
Yeah.
Like
It was bad.
after the All-Star break.
It's not great.
But I just if they're gonna keep Bell around and not trade him, why not just pay him a contract now or give him a contract now?
No, I agree.
Like, what's the point of waiting
I agree.
or trade him? Either one.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is they want to see like a more sustained success, like essentially what we saw last year for a couple months, but over the course of an entire season.
Yeah.
And obviously you're going to have bumps in the road, but like, I mean, we're talking incredibly high but very low.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to level out at some point.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that USA Today, in their infinite wisdom,
102
has 4 teams with over 100 losses. One of them being the Pirates, who, for the love of God, had the worst pitching performance in my lifetime last season.
They also think that the Marlins are from Florida Marlins still.
Yeah.
I was just saying, in the NL East, don't they have pretty much every team above 500? Like, aren't the Marlins like 4 games
All
under or
but the
something?
Marlins has like 93 wins.
Yeah, but the Marlins are like relatively close to 500.
Yeah.
And they said they were Florida Marlins, not
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah. And they misspelled Cincinnati, by the way.
Yeah.
People continuously bring that up to me, just like random people, at work, because I'm always wearing a Pirate hat. The fact that people cannot comprehend how bad you have to be to lose 100 games. Last season, they should
Why are
have lost
people?
100
I don't
games.
understand why people are putting any stock into that anyway. Like what USA Today's.
Because people believe
prediction.
whatever they see.
I know, but like, there's nothing like. What are they even going based off of?
Nothing.
Like, it's not like they're
Nothing.
actually.
I'm gonna predict they're gonna win 102 games.
It's not like USA Today's actually sitting there running projections and simulations.
Yeah.
Like you see people do
Yeah.
based off the roster and everything like that. They're literally just putting a number because they think they're a bad team.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're going to be incredible. And this is no offense to any of our friends. Like, they're probably a 75 win team.
I mean, yeah, I would put. I mean, it's not my house to bet, but
Yeah.
I would bet my house that they're not 500.
No.
It's not
It-
my house to bet.
It would be an absolute miracle and basically the return of last year, where it's just like you guys were so bad because of just shitty luck that you're having just a spike back. You know.
I mean, I think that it's a decent. You can decently expect to have some type of bounce back pitching wise.
Yeah. Oh,
like you said, it was terrible last year.
Yeah.
I think that honestly, the bullpen could be the best part of this team.
Yeah.
Is Cole going to be in the bullpen, or is he going to be starter?
He's definitely going to compete for a starting job. He's best suited for the bullpen, like I've said for about 3 years now.
I would agree if the other option wasn't like Derek Holland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I think that I would
Well, what
rather have
lefties do
him
we
in
have
the-
out of the pen now?
Brault.
He might be a starter for all we know.
That they picked up somebody this like recently.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name. Damn it, I feel bad now. Anyway, you're gonna have 2 or 3 lefties competing for
Sam Howard is who I was thinking of.
Yeah, you're gonna have 2 or 3 lefties competing for bullpen spots where you probably want to carry 2. The Pirates have done a very good job at carrying 2 lefties, and credit you had he who shall not be named as one of them.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting because there's a bunch of guys who has the stuff to keep it going, but they're all righties. I don't want to see another Josh Smoker experience.
Yeah. I mean,
Like I get this year is not about being good, but for the love of God, that guy did not deserve to be anywhere near a minor league team.
yeah.
And no offense to him, I'm sure he's a great guy. Just couldn't pitch.
I mean, it goes back to we know that they're they're not going to be a good team. We really shouldn't necessarily want them to be a good team. Like
Yeah.
we want them to
Suck.
whether you want to call it a rebuild or build, get assets for the future, not now.
Mhm.
So trade off these assets. But at the same time, like when you're looking at it short term, like when we're watching games, it's not like we're to be rooting for them to lose.
No,
We want them to win every single game.
but it's not going to be like the end of days if they lose.
So no. But I guess what I'm getting at is you still want to watch them be competitive.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to see guys that suck.
Yeah.
Pitching, just because you need to see guys throw innings and
Yeah.
somebody has to be out there.
Mhm.
Like we still want to see them win games.
Yeah, absolutely,
term.
absolutely.
But if they lose, I'm not going to be upset. As
No,
upset
it's
as
gonna
I-
be-
Again, yeah.
We're gonna
I-
watch the game wanting them to win. Once they lose that game, we're gonna be happy about it.
It's
What-
like tanking
Yeah, when was
without
that?
tanking because then you get
Was it
fined.
last year, the year before that? I was like actively rooting for them to lose.
No, that was last year.
Yeah, last year. The year before that, they were
la-
they won 82 games.
Yeah,
So
last year
Okay.
you had that infamous Snapchat of why do I watch this team?
I was so mad.
You were
I was so heated.
Did you just come out of a movie or something when that happened?
I was going into one, out of one. That was like my my like 4th or 5th time seeing Endgame. I saw it 8 times.
Why were you that mad?
I don't know. They probably did something stupid. Let's be real. They probably did.
Now I'm curious.
I don't know either. I'd have to look at what date I sent that Snapchat out. But
No, it's saved.
yeah, I saw Endgame 8 times. That's 24 hours of watching it because the movie's 3 hours and 2 minutes.
I've only seen it once. I want to
Jesus.
rewatch it.
Yeah, I've only watched it once. Actually, no, twice.
The Giants took one of the potential center fielders for the Pirates off the board,
Yeah,
signing Billy Hamilton to a minor league deal, and they also re-signed Hunter Pence, brought him back.
yeah, which is
Which
shocking.
I mean, that's getting back to like just as a Pirate fan looking for things to root for during the season.
Yeah.
Kind of cool that the Giants are bringing back Hunter Pence.
yeah,
From a standpoint as they're probably not going to be that competitive
no,
in the NL West.
they might be the worst in the NL this season. I could see that happening.
I would say that they're probably going to be in the bottom 3
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, so you're just looking for like certain things to root for. Which getting into my next question about the Pirates, which pitcher and which position player are you most excited for?
so I said Keller for pitcher.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm very interested to see what he can do with
New
a full
pitching coach.
year and a new pitching coach. I'm interested in the entire staff to see what they can
And
do.
you looked at there was nobody. I don't know if you guys saw the same stat. It's like how ridiculously unlucky he was last year.
Yeah,
PDO.
No, I'm so
Like-
glad they actually put that out there because I was watching I was watching every game pretty much that he pitched, and constantly it's just dink, 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 just dropping right in. Also, whatever's happening is just in our headphones, by the way. Jesus, that's annoying. Yeah, no, he couldn't have been any unluckier, I guess is the best way to
Mhm.
put it. Position player though.
Not as easy, huh?
I would, before I put like a name on it, I'd have to see who makes the roster because there's a couple guys that I think could make the roster.
Yeah, I would just say mine's Brian Hayes. Like assuming that he's on the team at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, for pitcher, honestly, like I'm excited just to see how everybody does because of the new pitching coach.
Yeah.
So for better or worse, I'm just excited to see the difference that it
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
for the entire staff. As far as position players go, I mean, I think that you could say Brian Reynolds, Josh Bell, obvious choices. Kevin Newman, the player that we saw last year.
Yeah. Or the player we saw 2 years ago.
Yeah, does Cole Tucker take a leap?
Mm-hmm. The
Is Adam Frazier that good in the field?
the absolute off chance Jared makes the
Can
team.
I say Polanco? Hoping that
Polanco
he has a
coming
big
back?
bounce back season.
Yeah.
Also, am I dumb if I say Archer for pitcher? Because I want to see him with the new pitching coach, and he cut his dreads. So
Yeah. Any of the catchers? I'm actually kind of excited to see what Jacob Stallings can do.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is we're not expecting them to be good, but I think you can look at a lot of different things and say I'm intrigued to see how this goes, and I think that a lot of that comes with it being a new regime, a new front office, a new manager, new staff. I mean, like we said, a new pitching coach.
Yeah.
How is that going to translate on the field? How different are these guys going to be? We've been complaining for a while about how things were going as far as, the pitching coach. We wanted that to change. The manager, even though, I love what Clint Hurdle did here and everything, you feel like it kind of started to fall on deaf ears and it was time for a change.
Yeah.
So, a new voice. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of intriguing parts to this team.
even if
Yeah.
they don't win games, as long as they like show me something and like they're I don't want to say competitive, but like I want to see something different than what I've seen the past like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Because the most annoying thing to me over the past 3 to 4 years was them just being complacent with being in the middle. They're not either all in and going for it, or they're not like all out and like selling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what pissed me off about Neil Huntington, was that he was just always stuck in the middle and never wanted to commit either way.
I mean, even going off that, like now it's reported that the Pirates are the front runner for the kid coming into like the international signing pool.
He's
I
like
can't remember
16
his
years.
name.
Well, they signed that one 16-year-old from Australia.
Yeah.
There's another one. I think his last name is Polanco.
Yes, it is. I can't remember his first name.
Something with
though.
an S. But anyway, yeah,
Definitely.
he's slated to projected to make $2.5 million or whatever.
Yeah.
Signing bonus, and yeah, they're one of the favorites to sign him.
Yeah, and
And that seems to be like a theme with Sherrington is these international guys. I mean, one of his
Devers-
bigger signings, unfortunately for the Red Sox,
Oh yeah.
Wesley Castillo, who he
Yeah.
handed $85 million to.
Yep.
But that's a whole different thing. He wasn't a 16-year-old that they're talking about,
Yeah.
$2.5 million.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely likes his international prospects. And you look at, Vlad Jr. in Toronto,
Yeah.
international prospect. But yeah, we'll see. He definitely does his work.
And it doesn't seem like it's the NH approach where it's, even though there is similarities, it's not quantity over quality. It's quality over quantity now. I mean that could just be a one-off thing. It might be just because they traded Marte and they got that extra signing bonus, but I'm not mad about
Yeah,
it.
we don't have too much of a body of work to go off of, but I mean, we talked about it right after the Marte trade is the high risk, high reward
Mhm.
approach, as opposed to going the safe route and getting, a couple guys that are major leaguers, but aren't impact guys in the major leagues. I mean, I really like Joe Musgrove. I think that there's a role for Colin Moran in the majors.
It's just probably
Jason Martin's a fringe
bench
guy.
bat, yeah,
I had higher hopes for Feliz than what he's given us.
yeah,
But, once again, it's guys that don't have that high ceiling. NH was looking for the floor
yeah,
of being a major leaguer, whereas, Sherrington is shooting for the stars here
Yeah.
with these guys.
good. I'd rather have guys not pan out than get up here and just be lackluster.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not going to know for a while
No, yeah.
what one of those two things it is.
At least 5 years.
I
Four.
mean, they're 19 years old, both of them, that we got in the Marte deal. And then we're talking about, a couple 16-year-olds potentially. So, yeah, I mean, we're a long ways away from knowing what.
Also, if I
I'm
see
gonna be like
another,
30 when I see them play.
yeah. Also, if I see another person say, "Go get Jock Peterson, Stripling, and give them O'Neal Cruz back," I might throw punch
O'Neal
that
Cruz?
person. Yeah,
Good. I mean, I'm not against, making the deal for those two.
yeah. but not for that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but the thing is, the only reason that I would be on board with doing it would be because Peterson's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So if you're not talking about giving him an extension, and I'm not, I mean, it's
You shouldn't.
yeah. You're talking about flipping him at the deadline. So
Yeah.
I'm not giving up O'Neal Cruz just to flip Jock Peterson at the deadline.
The most common reasoning has been because we have so many shortstops. But guess what? That man's not going to be playing shortstop for a long time.
If he does play shortstop,
How? It's like Slenderman out there.
yeah. No.
Imagine me playing shortstop, except if I was a string bean, not 250 pounds.
We lucked our way into O'Neal Cruz. I'm not giving him up.
Yeah, exactly. Tony Watson.
Yeah. Half a season of him.
Oh man.
Okay, so let's switch over to the NHL. Just a couple things to talk about. So John Marino.
Yes.
We still don't exactly know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we thought that he broke his cheekbone in 3 places.
Mhm.
Well, actually, we thought he was fine at first.
Yeah.
Then we thought he broke his cheekbone in 3 places, was having surgery. I went back and I Google searched, a similar injury. Jonathan Tays missed 8 weeks
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody's different. Timelines could be different, but that was, I think relative to put out there as a timeline
Yeah.
based off, that happening. And then he doesn't fly home to Pittsburgh. He stays on the road with them. Was at the arena the other night during their game.
Mhm.
And he's going to be evaluated now. I think it's today, honestly.
Did they
Again.
show him at all?
They
On the
showed him
broadcast?
on no. They showed him on their Instagram story and Snapchat though, like
Okay.
the team getting off the bus. I mean, he's wearing a suit.
Was his face swollen?
He's I honestly I didn't notice, but he was drinking coffee because he threw away his coffee. So like
Oh. Well,
Maybe
I mean,
that's
you-
why
yeah.
he was drinking coffee to hide his face a little bit.
I was gonna say you can still drink.
yeah.
It'd be
He wasn't
kinda
eating
hard to eat.
anything, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
More than likely, when situations like that happen with broken jaws, they're gonna wait until the swelling goes down to be able to see what's wrong.
I just feel like though if it was not to say it's not, but I'm surprised that he wasn't flown back.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing is flying. If you have an injury like bruising or swelling, it causes it to.
True, but he
Pop
had to
up.
fly back
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's
okay, so I guess what I would have expected to happen then was him go somewhere in whatever city they were in
Yeah.
and get a definitive answer,
Mm.
as opposed to waiting to be evaluated back in Pittsburgh. Because, yeah, I mean, unless he traveled by car or something. But even then, I think you're not supposed to take long car rides even.
Yeah.
Like they told me, we're talking about different things here, but like
Yeah.
with pneumonia or anything, any physical ailment that you have going on,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be in the car for that long
Yeah.
either, as a flying anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he
It's
went
an
to
interesting
Mobile.
situation. Yeah. But I'm good now. If you guys can't tell from the last episode, my voice sounds a lot different.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see whether the news comes out today or whatever. If it for sure is, the broken jaw, cheekbone in 3 places.
Hopefully, it's not because.
Can he play with a cage on immediately after getting surgery
Yeah.
or shortly after?
Yeah.
He played with a full face shield in college, like a clear one.
I played with the
Yeah.
bowl.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's crazy because at the beginning of the season, you tell me that we're gonna be without John Marino. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
but like now, especially with Brian Dumoulin not being back yet.
Mhm.
I mean, the Ritola Ruedel pairing was okay short term for a while there
Yeah.
while Schultz was out. But yeah, Ruedel
You put
specifically
Ruedel
has
on his
been
offhand.
tough
Yeah,
these
if you-
last couple games.
If you put him on his offhand, he's not good.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying the Leafs should try for him.
Like him and Schultz together for those 2 games, good God, were
Yeah.
they terrible.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Now that Schultz is back with Pedersen, it makes it a little bit easier.
And that's why I was talking about I tweeted out like potential lines and pairings
Mhm.
if we were to acquire like Jason Zucker or whoever that other winger might be.
Yeah.
And the defensive pairings, I put Dumoulin and Letang together because I feel like, that's the pairing.
Yeah, you
when
can't
they are
break
healthy.
That up.
But you talked about the other 2 pairings. It could get interesting because of how much we saw Marino with Pedersen for a while there.
Yeah.
And
And they were good together.
Yeah.
And Marino and Jack Johnson was still good together.
That's why I think Schultz plays with Pedersen
yeah.
and Marino with Johnson.
Schultz and Johnson was an absolute fire drill whenever
Yeah.
they played together. I never want to see that pairing again in my life.
And, that's you're putting a lot of Marino there, but
Yeah.
I think he's capable of playing
He
with Jack
makes
Johnson and
Jack
being
Johnson pedestrian.
the only problem there is, you got to find a way still to get Marino more minutes than just the third line.
Yeah. Put him on the
third
power
pairing
play.
defenseman.
Put him on the power play.
Honestly, I think he's less of a liability than Schultz. I mean, every time Schultz is out
absolutely.
there, I feel like the team's going the other way for an opportunity.
Schultz is not coming back, right?
After the season?
Yeah.
No.
We've kind of gotten to that point.
Once Pedersen got paid, that was like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. So
Pedersen getting paid and Marino's not resurgence, but what's the word I'm looking
Rise.
for? Rise, yeah. Ascension.
yeah.
Yeah, I those two things. I mean, you could argue with one of them, Schultz wasn't going to be back, but
Yeah.
actually, you
Both
could
of
argue
them.
with neither of them happening, Schultz wasn't going to be back.
Yeah.
But with one of them happening, let alone both those things happening, there's no. I mean, there were people talking about trading him,
Mhm.
which with the way that the defense looks, I don't think that you do that.
No.
I think that you just use him as your own rental
Yeah.
and let him walk.
Yeah.
Especially because they're not, with Gensel's unfortunate injury, they're not in a need to free up cap to bring in anybody. Had Gensel not gotten hurt and he needed to find a way to clear money to bring in money, it could have gotten
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
But there's no reason to trade Justin Schultz
Yeah.
with that being the case. Speaking of that, though,
So yeah, I'm tired.
so I mean, we've seen some teams or some names floated around for the Penguins as potential targets. We talked about Jason Zucker a lot. I mean, I tweeted out the other day. There's been so much smoke there now for the entire offseason, really, and now here we are as the deadline approaches, and you just feel like it's like imminent. I don't know who it was on ESPN that put this out there, but I don't know. You guys saw what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, where it's talking about.
Hellender and
Hellender and a second-round pick. Penguins don't have a second-round pick in this upcoming draft,
Yeah.
so they were talking about 2021 second. If that's the asking price for Jason Zucker,
send it.
I just don't see that being the case because I think Rutherford would have done it by now.
I
Um,
saw
I don't trust anything.
I saw a
ESPN
different one
says.
that said our first this year in Poulin.
Yeah, see,
That's a hard no.
I'm saying no to that.
That is a hard no.
I could see that. I could see Darren starting with that as the ask,
Mm.
but I mean, there's a reason that GM JR kept the first-round pick this past draft, which isn't typically due, and then to take Poulin and then see the production he's put up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think you could argue he's the most valuable asset not in the NHL right now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
I mean, who else is that? Like, who's the Penguins' top prospects? Like him,
Kalen
Kalen Addison, the dude that we got from the Coyotes.
P.O. Joseph,
Yeah,
Bellerive.
and
Nathan Legare.
and Hallander.
Yeah.
Like those are really the only.
The top one would either be Addison or Poulin.
It'd be Poulin, I think. Who
Ju-
knows?
look at
Addison
the
might be on the
season.
team next year.
The season that Poulin's having is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
Addison will be in Wilkes-Barre next year.
There's-
Addison still plays in juniors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
there are probably, I understand that's just one season, and with the way the NHL works, these first-round draft picks, you don't know what you're getting right away or anything.
Yeah.
But there's probably teams that are like, how did this guy fall as far as he did to the Penguins?
Yeah.
And of course he did, because it's the Penguins.
Yeah. Well, it's like Alex DeBrincat with the
Yeah,
Blackhawks.
yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah. Kalen Addison plays in the WHL. He plays for the Lethbridge Hurricanes. He has 43 points in 39 games.
What?
And he's a defenseman.
What?
Yeah, he's got 10 goals, 33 assists.
What?
Yeah, but how many of those are secondary assists?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, moral of the story: don't believe anything
And
ESPN
Poulin-
says about hockey.
Poulin plays in the QMJHL, and he plays for the Sherbrooke Phoenix. He's the captain, and he has 65 points in 38 games.
He also has 10 goals in his past 6?
It was something. They just showed the stat.
Yeah.
One of the last two games. It was stupid.
He had 19 points last week.
Yeah, he's been
Okay.
He's been player of the week 4 or 5 different times. But anyway, and also I'm the Penguins are probably one of these teams. 8 teams have said that Chris Kreider is their top
Yeah.
get. Although obviously with how much we're talking about Zucker, you could argue that he's the Penguins' top get. But Chris Kreider, I wanted to mention how I said I had something to say about the Bruins. I think he's a Bruin.
You think?
If we were doing predictions for where guys land at the trade deadline, that's who I would say.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the Rangers better extend him then.
I think they will.
I don't know what I honestly have no idea what their cap situation looks like, but I mean, he's been a Ranger in his entire career so far.
Yeah.
I could see it. I just,
Like you said last
what
week,
if they
he's been-
trade him and then just re-sign him?
Yeah. I mean, that can happen too.
Yeah.
He's also been traded the most times without being traded, like you said last week. So,
The Rangers, let's see. After this season, we'll have. Get me to the friggin' thing. Sorry. Projected cap space. After this season, $16.5 million.
Oh.
Right now they have 2.95 million. But after the season is
Is
done,
Hank
they have
up?
16.5. I don't think so.
Where's that money coming off? I genuinely
Where
don't
is
know.
Lundqvist?
Under goalies.
No, he's got next year
Okay.
too. Then he's up.
I don't know. Maybe they're paying somebody that's not on the.
Namestov? However you pronounce his
Say
name?
maybe
I mean,
they're
Chris
paying somebody
Kreider
that's not-
comes off.
Shattenkirk, they're probably still paying right
Ryan Strome, Jasper Fast,
now. And I don't even know if that comes off, actually.
Brandon
but-
Lemieux, Greg McKegg, Philip D. Giuseppe,
Is it Giuseppe?
Anthony D'Angelo, and Alexander Gorgiev.
Oh, wow. Can I talk about the biggest disappointment in the NHL this season so far for me? Capo Caco.
Yeah.
I mean, him
I,
and Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
I said that I would rather have Kako
Capo.
over Jack Hughes.
Both of them, they have 18 and 17 points.
Yeah, and Caco's 6 goals. I said he might be able to put up 50.
Meanwhile, Quinn Hughes
Just
is
lighting everything up.
40 points or something like that.
John
Yeah.
Marino better than both.
He is. Literally is.
If he doesn't miss too much time, he could be in the running for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Not that he'd win it, but
Imagine John Marino winning Calder and Sidney Crosby didn't. Hey Sid, you have one of these?
how'd you feel about the,
That's just some cute trophies, but you have one of these?
Yeah.
how did you feel about the Leafs trade this past week?
It makes sense. Originally, when I first saw it was Clifford and Campbell, I was like, a forward?
Yeah.
They don't need a forward. But it does make sense. Clifford's kind of like that Tom Wilson-esque type where he can still play hockey and be a asshole.
Did you see what Clifford said in an interview?
No.
They asked him, I forget what the question was, but he answered with, it was about his role with the Leafs, and he's like, I know my role. They didn't bring me here to outscore Austin Matthews.
That's fair. And yeah, Campbell, former first-round pick, finally made it to the NHL last year and actually did well. And this year, just LA's been kind of poisoned.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Kovalchuk.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if the Canadians flip him.
I would assume. Plus, the Leafs under Keefe are at a 110-point pace, and that's with goalies having an average save percentage of 900.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's what they needed to do. They still need to do something about the defense. I was listening
Yeah.
to
Hutchison wasn't gonna do it as the backup.
No.
I think it's a good move. They give up. Is it Tyler Moore?
Trevor.
Moore, third-round pick and a conditional third turns into a second if Clifford re-signs,
There's a chance.
or
that
the
happens.
Leafs make the playoffs and Campbell wins 6 games.
Yeah.
So
It's picks. I look at it the same way as the Penguins. It's picks. Or as Steve likes to put it, magic beans.
yeah,
Yeah, I was listening to their podcast yesterday. Tyson Berry's probably not going to stick. He's probably going to be moved. I guess the goal is to re-sign Muzzin. Right?
I guess. I mean, the Leafs are, to my knowledge, just from what I was looking at today when I was putting these together, are looking for a right-handed defenseman with control.
Dumba.
Matt Dumba fits the bill. I'm curious to see if there's anything there. What the asking price would be, because I
Yeah.
mean, these are just picks, but how much more ammo do they have in terms of that? I mean, Dumba's controlled through I think 2022, 23.
Yeah. And I mean,
So-
they definitely probably want young forwards. And I mean, the Leafs have a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
It's interesting.
Kapanen in the doghouse with them, or was that just kind of like a one-time thing?
I think that was a one-time thing. Could be. I think it happened once with the Marlies when he was with Keefe, and it happened now. But yeah, It's not Babcock. If it was Babcock,
It's not
he'd be
like he's
stapled to
like
yeah.
tradable now
No.
in their eyes because of it.
No, if Babcock was still if he was still the coach, he'd be stapled to the press booth. Anyway, around the 4-1-2, not around the 6. That was bad. Please don't laugh at that.
No, don't
Mark-
worry. No one's gonna laugh.
Marc-Andre Fleury moved into 5th on the all-time wins list, passing Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah.
Um,
Who would have thought that happened while he was active?
yeah, I don't know. Especially with like Fleury going to expansion, you never know how that's going to work out
Yeah.
immediately. But best expansion team we've ever seen. But yeah, just pretty cool to see that he's in the top 5. I mean, we've talked about it before. The fact that he doesn't have a Vezina, so like the Hall of Fame case, you have 3 Stanley Cups on there. Granted, only one is like the full-time starter, but he doesn't have a Vezina.
Yeah.
And is every goalie that's in the Hall of Fame has a Vezina.
Which is insane.
And at this point in his career, hard to imagine he's going to end up winning one.
Yeah. Yeah, no way.
I said if he would have won the cup with Vegas their first year,
Mhm.
he's automatic. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Make history is the first one without it. The Vezina.
I mean, I think he could be still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But
I would agree with that.
Well, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is the case is still there. It's just he's going to have to make history to do it by being the first one not to. Unless, I mean, somebody else, I guess, could retire and make it before him that doesn't have one. But I don't know who it would be.
I don't know.
Oh, and the Jets and Dustin Byfuglien apparently are working towards a buyout, although
Yeah.
that news came out like 5 days ago, and I haven't seen anything about it since.
No, it's been longer.
Really?
Yeah, it's been like 2-3 weeks.
Oh. Well, anyway, it still hasn't happened yet,
Yeah.
though. So, like,
That's just a weird situation. I don't even know anything behind it anymore. It's all been so long.
but anyway, like, once he hits the market, like, who's going to be...
If he doesn't
You think-
retire.
But I feel like if he's working towards a buyout, like, he's still trying to play, just not with them. Because otherwise, why would he accept a buyout? Just like, if they still have to pay you?
I'm pretty sure it's because they suspended him so they didn't have to pay him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it.
There's a lot of wrinkles in this.
There's a lot of wrinkles in the Jets franchise as a whole.
True. Although I was looking the other day, you know, like when we were playing the Lightning, they showed that John Cooper was the longest tenured coach.
Yeah.
Do you know there's only 2 coaches right now in the NHL that have been coaching, like, before 2015, their current team?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Mike Sullivan's 4th longest tenured.
Yeah.
Tortorella's 3rd, and that was the same season, just a couple months before Sullivan.
Yeah. Crazy.
In the 5th
It's
is
a-
going
it's
to
a
be fired
carousel.
probably pretty soon. Jeff Blashill with the Red Wings is 5th.
Do you think he's going to get fired?
I mean, he's been on the hot. I feel like he's been on the hot seat for a while, even though
Yeah,
I don't
but
think
they
it's
know
like
they kinda
necessarily his
suck.
fault.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've seen teams do that before, like
Who's second?
Paul Maurice with the Jets. That's
Yeah.
that's why I thought of it.
Who's first? Oh, wait.
John Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're 13 for Cooper, I think. 14
The year they came back.
for Maurice, and then the rest of 2015 are more recent.
Crazy. It's a
You
rotating
want to talk
carousel.
about another team that needed to win a championship like the Dodgers do? The freaking Lightning. They need to
Oh,
win
man.
one too.
Oh, God.
And they're on a roll. Like they're the only team that has more wins than the Penguins over like the last 25 games. Like
Literally.
we think the Penguins have been hot, and they have, but the Lightning have just been crazy.
Yep.
And they needed to be
Absolutely.
because they weren't in a playoff spot not
No.
that long ago.
No.
Now they have
Now
more
they're
points than the
comfortable.
Penguins.
Yeah, now they're comfortable.
Still behind the Bruins, but it's pretty crazy that the run that the Penguins were on, and they're still 4 points behind the Capitals. They played one less game though, so
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and the Islanders have kind of, not fallen off, but they've kind
Leveled
of
out.
Yeah, they kind of plateaued.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jackets have jumped them in the standings.
Oh, wow.
So the Jackets are third.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No, they played 3 more games, and only have 1 more point. So
Merzlinkus has carried them so far, dude.
yeah, I've seen his name mentioned for the Vezina recently.
It should be at this point. They're 25th in scoring, and they're somehow in a playoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a .930 save
Ow.
percentage. .930 save percentage, 219 goals against.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, right now, you look at it, it's like Tuukka Rask is first in goals against and second in save percentage. Darcy Kemper is second in goals against and third in save percentage. And Merzlikins is fifth in goals against, or tied for fourth in goals against. First in save percentage. Tristan Jarry, third in goals against, fourth in save. Like, these guys are all, they're in both categories. Samsonov, actually, from Washington, fourth in goals against.
Yeah, Holtby's gone after this year. They cannot pay him, and they don't really have the need to anymore.
Mm-hmm. Where does he go? Wherever it is, it's going to be probably short term.
That's what I said about Bob.
How isn't Holtby's older than Bob was, though?
So.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so. I think he'll be the same age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Holtby's a lot younger than you think.
Yeah, he just looks old.
He looks he's been around for a while, too.
He is 30.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Bob was 31.
Wow. I thought he was like 33.
Just because he's
beard.
been in the league for a while. Yeah. I think Aaron Ekblad's super old, but he's like my age. Actually, he's a little older than me. Your guys' age, I think.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
If you guys have nothing else to talk about, I got nothing else to talk about.
I got nothing. I kind of just want to go back to sleep.
Yeah, we got the bar crawl
Yeah.
coming up on Saturday, so that's why we're recording Monday, because we're not going to be here Saturday.
If anybody's coming, rest up, because that's going to be a long day.
You'll see them, not me.
Yeah, Mormon.
Valentine's
And I'm
weekend.
going to a signing.
Yeah.
Hornquist and Tanev.
Anyway, this is Around the 412. We are part of the Pod Hub Network, and we are sponsored by Keats Barbershop, located at 180 Brighton Avenue in Rochester, PA. Open 11 to 7 Tuesday through Friday, and Saturday 9 to 4. Every Tuesday, he does $5 off for military personnel, first responders, and nurses. Again, that's Keats Barbershop, 180 Brighton Avenue, Rochester, PA. We hope to see you Saturday. Whatever you're listening to, whatever platform, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
I want the money, ain't never want attention, so I don't pay attention to comments and all the mentions, cause they ain't see my vision.